Today, as promised, Frontier Developments revealed the full concept for the next new vessel heading to Elite Dangerous. This follows on from last week's not particularly cryptic teaser where FDev released an image of an unfamiliar wheel and a heavy mechanical strut alongside a commander standing near a planetary lava fissure with the caption "Break new ground." In this video we'll cover off everything we just learnt. Upon seeing the teaser, the immediate reaction from just about everyone who saw it was a very excited cry of mining SRV. Indeed, the clues in that direction are pretty undeniable, but in the game currently there is no surface mining in any kind of meaningful fashion. Sure, you can shoot materials off of a fallen meteor and scoop them up with the current generation of SRV, but you'd be hard pushed to call it mining. A mining SRV, that would be mining in the truest sense of the word, would require significant new gameplay additions over and above what we have access to currently. It appears that FDev have heard this stray thought in the ether however and have answered with a resounding cry of challenge accepted. Ladies and gentlefolk, please say hello to the new surface mining SRV coming to Elite Dangerous, the Rhino. The Rhino is an armoured 6-wheeled behemoth of a space truck, and I do mean behemoth. It's significantly bigger than the current SRVs, the Scarab and the Scorpion. You can see on screen now comparisons showing commanders standing next to the two current SRVs in the game, and then the concept shot from FDev of the Rhino. The new mining surface vehicle appears to be at least twice the size. In SRV terms it's quite massive and should be quite the sight to see trundling across the surface of a dusty moon. It's so large in fact that, according to the info release from Frontier today, which is linked below by the way, it has to be dropped from the new vessel hangar rather than from the SRV bay, and by dropped it does appear that they literally mean dropped. There is a concept image included with the info drop that shows a Type 11 Prospector mining ship hovering with the vessel bay open and the Rhino churning away from it. Whilst there's nothing currently to suggest that the vehicle is locked to the T11, you can see from the images on screen now that the current generation SRVs deploy from the cargo hatch on the Type 11 at the front, just below the cockpit. The Rhino will be dropping from the slot currently occupied by the SLV bay. We're assuming without the rails usually used to fire SLFs and the Nomad forward, as they're not shown in FDev's concept image, and frankly firing a truck out the front of a spaceship at those kinds of speeds would seem impractical at best and at worst downright dangerous, although it could make an amusing hardpoint choice. How the vehicle is then recovered to its mother vessel is a further mystery yet to be revealed, as it appears to be too large to fit underneath a landed ship. Frontier have specifically stated that the Rhino can be used to acquire raw materials from around geological POIs in the game, and whilst they're not yet ready to say exactly how the new mining loop will work, they have said that the reason the Rhino is so big is so that it can contain not only the spoils of its mining activities but also the technology that the Rhino is using to extract its geological payday. The full concept images released today do show the wheels that we saw in the teaser image, but there appears to be no sign yet of the strut or leg that is apparent next to the wheel in the teaser. We're assuming the strut is part of the mining equipment that the Rhino deploys specifically, and Frontier have said in the article, quote, "But as for what that equipment might be, you'll have to discover for yourselves," end quote. They also said that the reason this particularly large SRV doesn't have an interior space like the Nomad did before it is because its internal space is taken up with material storage and whatever the mining solution is that it uses. Long-time veterans with Elite as a franchise will doubtless remember the MB4 mining rig, first seen in Frontier Elite 2, that could be deployed to a planet's surface from a starship and then left to gather resources on its own. And whilst it might be tempting to think that the Rhino will be using a version of that deploy and leave solution, It strikes me that Elite Dangerous, unlike its forefathers, is a multiplayer game, and the Rhino can also hold 3 commanders in its interior, and FDev have specifically stated that it is armoured. I'm therefore inclined to believe that Rhino mining will be a much more active loop, and the vehicle will likely stay put while the resources it has been deployed to retrieve are actively extracted in real time. Quite how the mining equipment is deployed or what specific form it takes is still a mystery. There are 4 curious apertures in the top of the vehicle on every corner, as well as what appear to be entry doors on the sides, exactly where you'd expect to enter the vehicle, and there is also a large hatch style door at the back. We can't get a good look from the images supplied of the centre of the roof, so there may be more clues there. The teaser image from last week appears to show a supporting leg rather than an obvious mechanical drill or any kind of laser mining solution that we've seen in the game before, so it's difficult at this point to know exactly what to expect. As with all FDev's vehicle releases previously, cosmetics are a big deal, and the images that we've seen do show the Rhino sporting an industrial styled bull bar ship kit, as well as the standard naked version. There's also a spoiler and running boards visible as well. The vehicle is certainly big enough to handle external ship kit options. Frontier also confirmed that the very first new operation since the feature launched will go live alongside the Rhino's early access later this month. Way back when operations were first announced, FDev mentioned that mining was one of the gameplay paths they wanted to explore. They haven't explicitly said that this new operation features mining, but the dots aren't exactly hard to connect. The big question is, will owning a Rhino be a hard requirement to play the new operation? Previous early access ships haven't locked players out of gameplay, so if this one does, it's a completely different approach, and one I think is liable to backfire on Frontier. To be 100% clear, they haven't confirmed any mandatory requirement as of this recording, so we'll just have to wait and see. Frontier have promised a devlog in the near future going into the new surface mining gameplay specifically, and as I mentioned, the Rhino is scheduled to enter ARC's early access later this month. If this release follows the pattern of FDev's previous new vessels, then as a partnered content creator we'll likely get access to a preview build of the truck before it releases. That being the case, we'll bring you a full review of the Rhino surface mining vehicle as soon as we humanly can on this very channel. From what we've seen of the Rhino so far, I have to say I think it's one of the best looking designs that Chris Gregory and his team have ever come up with. In case there was still any lingering doubt remaining in your mind, the introduction of new surface mining gameplay and a new huge 3-seater armoured truck coming to the game proves that Elite's best years might still be ahead of it. Right now there has never been a better time to be a commander. What would you like to see from the next new operation? How do you think the Rhino will deploy its mining equipment, and will you be grabbing a Rhino for yourself in early access? Let us know in the comments below. That's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. We very much look forward to seeing you next time.